Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here in the Bronx with the Bronx family. I mean, everybody here, conscious, got knowledge itself. And we was talking to K-Bon about his music because K-Bon, he one of the first ones. Tell him who you on this song you did, brother, and how you started.
Lord K-Bon, Raps New Generation, the first artist down with Teddy Riley. You know, we started the New Jack Swing.
Yeah, but tell them about it. We don't know. They don't know.
Well, you already know.
It's a whole new generation. You're talking to them now.
I mean, Raps New Generation. You know, get on up. You know, our record was big. Everywhere, like you hear all the 50 Cent records and all them back then. But now, that's how our record was back then. You know, we still got records out right now. We got Put the Guns Away. We got What's Peace. You know, we got music.
Yeah. We got my man Demi God over here. He sent me a joint the other day with his little music on it.
It's long, boy.
You know, let me tell him who you are. Tell him who you are. He sent me his music the other day, and when he sent me his music, it was a post that he had, and he played one of his songs on it, The Drip, you know, and it had a little picture slide. And as I'm listening to it, I'm like, man, this shit dope. Who is this? I'm thinking it's one of them Chicago rappers or one of these new young rappers. You know what I mean? Because it didn't sound like a typical rap song. It sounded more like a R&B, you know, rap. You know, it was, you know what I mean? And the lyrics was flavor. You know what I mean? But when I heard it, I'm like, man, I got to post this. I posted. Everybody loved it on the page and all that. But tell them who you on about the music you're doing. You know,
I'm Demi God, Peace to the Malls and all that. Hailing out of Mount Vernon, New York, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to my Brooklyn fam, Crown Heights and all that. But I'm hailing out of Mount Vernon, New York. And I've been in the game for a minute. I was signed to Prince, God bless the dead, the icon. You know what I'm saying? I work with Kanye West. I was on the Bait soundtrack with Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Jamie Foxx movie, The Bait. We had the title songs, Took the Bait. Scarface featuring Dangerous. And I formulated my name from my Dangerous era. So my Dangerous era was my gangster era. That was my era when I was the shooter, and I was the goonie. And then I through transformation and evolution and elevation, I became Demi God. So I got a project out right now where I'm talking about Danger versus Demi God. So that's my alter ego. Danger is my alter ego. Demi God is who I am today, but the beast always is inside of you, but now it's for righteousness. So now I control when I let the cage open. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the music. So I'm bringing the nigga kingdom and the conscious kingdom together and doing it now. Conscious trap, conscious drill, you know what I'm saying? Conscious rap. You know what I mean? That's how we doing it.
And see, and that's what we. Oh, my bad. This Big Juice, you know.
Big Juice.
All right. Yeah. But now we was just talking to K-Bon about this earlier, where I was telling him that he can't mix the K-Bon from I Am Community, his movement. Check him out on Instagram, YouTube, and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm plugging the homie. But you know, he got the movement going on. I Am Community. That K-Bon is the activist, the community leader. He's doing that. So now he's reached out to a lot of brothers, like he said, he started to, you know, put the guns down and all that movement. And then you got Lord K-Bon, the rapper. You know what I mean? That's who I know. You know what I mean? You know, I've been going a long time.
You don't know.
That's who I know. I mean, when that joint came out, you know, that was one of hip hop first of that lane. You know what I mean? And matter of fact,
was the first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What's the first?
Check it. Y'all like that cocky shit. You supposed to tell it like it is. That's the K-Bon I want. You see, that's what I'm telling them. I want the K-Bon I know. I don't want that I Am Community K-Bon right now. You know what I mean? We're gonna bring him in here and there, but I want them to understand that they got Lord K-Bon, the rapper, and he can't really come back to reach the youth through the lyrics, but that's just his alter ego, like Demi God was saying. That's with the I Am Community K-Bon, and then the entertainment Lord K-Bon. You know what I mean? But they're two individual people, but they're still one and the same, because from Lord K-Bon is who came I Am Community K-Bon. Right?
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, like I said, I was born a Gemini. So all my life I've been, I know the yin and the yangs. So sometimes, you gotta go with the good, sometimes you gotta go with the bad. But now I know I build and see that it's called, the main thing is communication. So that's what I do. I'm trying to get my word out on all levels. So, I got I Am My Community, where I come out and I actually do footwork.
Mhm.
I come
Yes,
out
you do.
and put
And he
in
did
the
it
work
for
for
me.
the community.
Yeah.
Then I got the magazine behind the scenes
Mhm.
for the people that like to read.
Mhm.
You know, I put that out. So I got the magazine. My word is still getting out there.
Mhm.
Then I make records.
Mhm.
So now I got it on audio, also got it on video.
Mhm.
So for the people that like to listen to music, people that like to, that can't hear but they can see.
Mhm.
They still can see me. They still can get my message.
Mhm.
And then now with my boy Stu, I just did some things today with Millennium TV. So I'm also gonna be on the TV network. So I'm also gonna get my word out, and you know, and that's the whole thing about it, man. It's communication and getting your word out, and you gotta get it out on all levels.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring it back to the music. You said about the music because they didn't hear the Lord Came On. I know.
Yeah.
Give them the joint. Give them a couple of bars from the original song, from the first song that you checked me on just now.
Raps new generation.
Yeah, give it to me. We want that energy.
on time. It's time to make way for the Lord Came On and my man
Oh, stop.
L.
It's like we in the studio. I want the energy that you be
You know
giving,
what
my
I'm saying?
nigga. Give
That's
the
how
energy.
we come.
You rhyming. I want
Yeah,
Lord Came On, man.
Yeah,
Give me that
that's how
energy.
we come, man. You know,
Nah, it didn't come right. Give
Yeah,
it
we
again.
Raps new generation. When it first started off, you know, got my man
With the
come
hype.
out. Your rhymes are miscellaneous, also incompleted.
There you go.
The way I'm acting towards you is a form of conceited good skill that I possess. Come straight from the mind, combine all the uses of technology round. It is a source, huh? And we just go from there, man.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? It's Raps new generation. Sorry, old timers, that's us. The classical too, Harlem in the house, you know what I'm saying? Rooftop records. You know, that's how we did it, man.
I think being the next generation, being part of the late 90s, you know what I'm saying, generation, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to be able to sit here because even though I wasn't running the streets when that song came out, I was a baby, but I know about the record. You know what I'm saying? Even before I met you, I knew about the record. So meeting you and when Black Juice told me, you know, that's my man, this was years ago when I first met Juice. It was an honor to meet you then, you know what I mean? So, and that's it's about bridging the gaps, you know what I'm saying? So through me, it's like I got this generation, then I got the younger generation, so I'm sitting in the middle and it's just like, okay, we bridge the gaps.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? We bridge the gaps. And like he said, it's like communication. Like I got a company called More Money Entertainment. Media is what he mean. Like we're gonna use the media platforms that's available to us to, of course, spread our art, but deliver messages. You know what I'm saying? It's always been the artistic people who move society all through life. Whether you're talking about the poets, you're talking about the sculptors, you're talking about the people who write the books. You know what I'm saying? These are the people who move society. So that's why a lot of the rich want to keep their hands on the people who are the most talented and have them working for them because they are the ones who are the future, the trendsetters.
Exactly.
We trendset the trends, whether it's smaller or little. You feel what I'm saying? So that's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop. Let's be real with it.
And like you said, and what they call us, the poor righteous teachers. We poor righteous teachers.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what they want to do. And that's our duty to come out here and teach each and every day, add on whatever level that we can get it out, as long as our word is out, you know. So one person may hear it today, two people may hear it tomorrow, but like they said, you know, he told two friends, she told two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. That's the way, you know, the message is passed. Word of mouth.
Being that you say the poor righteous teachers, how do the poor righteous teachers see the gun problem in America today? We ain't gonna signal out the Bronx, Lord.
I think the gun. I want to be clear. We're not gonna act like the Matrix is not the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? And we don't make the guns. Where they coming from? You know what I mean? So we got dirty leaders that's basically turning a blind eye to the gun runners. You know what I mean? Just the other day, well, not the other day, a few months ago, I was talking about on my podcast. One of the young brothers from Mount Vernon came to me and was like, "Yo, some dudes never seen them before." You know what I'm saying? Arab and Black. You know what I'm saying? Arab and Moorish. And they popped the trunk and they had state-of-the-art artillery. Where they get it
in
from?
2022.
And they told them to go to Mount Vernon. Because why would they come there? What made you stop? You don't know nobody and nobody knows your face. But you getting money and you like, yo, this is what we got. And you selling guns to the hood. So it comes from, we got a deeper problem when it comes to the artillery. we got first fix the minds of the youth, because it's the mind. Guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Well,
You understand what I'm saying?
Get a gun as simple as you could get a lollipop either. For
Exactly,
example.
but that's
You know what I mean?
that's
the
what I'm
problem.
saying. The government is involved in that. Hey, who else is making? We don't make them here. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm saying, but that's why they can't get any gun laws done, because, you know, they making so much money, you know what I mean, from the guns. They got all types of loopholes where you could go to the gun show and so on and purchase an assault rifle with
that's
just
a fact.
coming out of high school. You
That's a
don't
fact.
even have a driver's license yet, and you can buy a gun license.
Person.
How you gonna drive a machine gun, you know, with a
That's a
100-round
fact.
clip, and you can't even drive a simple automobile, you know? But go ahead, Bob.
I feel different, man. I feel like, you know, everything is out here. Everything is made for everybody, but everybody is not made for everything. I got 5 kids from 34 to 19. And I'm always practicing them, and I teach them every single day that just because you see something, that don't mean it's meant for you. They've been selling dope for 1,000,000 years. We ain't on it. They've been selling coke for 1,000,000 years. So just because they're selling guns, you gotta go and get one? You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't made for everybody. You know
I get that.
what I'm saying?
My bad.
And I feel that us as being people in the community nowadays, we just feel that we gotta be followers. Everything started at home. You know, everybody starts stepping up and start being leaders and start being parents and start being the people that they mouth say that they are and not their actions. Then the kids won't be doing the things that they're doing. The kids doing the things that they're doing because they watch the adults. And adults always say, oh, don't all do as I do as I say. In reality, it don't go like that. In reality, it goes that I'm watching you and I'm watching what you do. And I'm gonna mimic and do what you're doing as a kid coming up.
Because I won't.
Not what you're saying. Because at the same token, how can I expect you to do as I say, not as I do, when you know in reality you say, oh, everything I tell you going one ear and out the other. So what you told me went in one ear and out the other, how the hell am I gonna follow what you said? When it went in one ear and out the other. So you knew that when you told me this. So therefore now I gotta watch your actions. Your actions gotta be right. You know, and then a lot as adults, and we come out here and we want to pull out this and run it and do all that, the youth gonna do it too. You know, when I was in the street, I got locked up 77 times. And I felt there was a need that I had to come outside with firearms and do all this, because this is what I was taught by older people, the same propaganda, the same older people that wasn't carrying guns was feeding this into me as a youth. But then as I got older and put all that away, that same energy and that negative energy don't come to me. You know, because you put yourself, that energy attract that energy. So it's a lot of positive things that we could be doing. And the guns is there, man. You know, guns don't shoot people. People shoot people.
Yeah, but see, you know, when I went to say something when it was rude and I almost cut you off, where I was going that way is that I'm not just talking about our community.
No.
I'm talking about America as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm talking about these young European kids that's running up in schools, you know what I mean, killing babies. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about only, you know, the black on black in the Bronx or in Chicago. No, I'm not saying that was. I just want you to understand. This is the comment I want to hear from y'all. What do you think about, you know, outside of our community and their gun violence? Because guns, you come on in.
I'm gonna cut you off, but the same question that you're saying, I'm gonna have the same answer. And the answer is that everything started home. Because if you look at all the dudes, all the way from when they shot the school up in Connecticut to they shot this place up down there, their parents bought them those guns. So where it started? At home. If you went and purchased your kid a shotgun for his birthday when he was 14 and 15 years old, you went and purchased your kid an AK-47 when he turned 14 and 15, it started at home.
Okay.
I didn't buy my kids that. You know, they got old, they came in, you know,
yeah, so check. You had in Japan the other day, right? Yesterday, matter of fact, or the day before yesterday, the president got killed by a homemade shotgun. They had like 6 murders, you know what I mean, in the whole year over there. Guns is prohibited, you know what I mean? You got to go through a 12-step check before you can get a gun over in Japan. You understand what I'm saying? And their gun, you know, violence, its course is minimal, you know, damn near non-existent. But over here, they just giving out You know what I mean? The guns were there everywhere, man. Like how they was giving out tobacco when you started having 14-year-olds smoking tobacco.
Let's chime in on that. Let's play devil's advocate. One of the reasons why America has always been America, you got to think about the Constitution. And let's think about the Second Amendment. You know what I'm saying? You got a right to bear arms. You feel me? So the whole reason for that is the country is built on the surmise of the people. The people being able to govern themselves. The forefathers that they saying created that is not true. The Moors actually created the system of the judiciary. Like, this system is an old system. This system dates back from Kemet, where you got balance, checks and balances, you know what I'm saying? And the government, and it's called civilization. To be civilized, this is how the Moors here. We already had a Declaration of Independence. We already had a Constitution. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, all of them forged their names. They plagiarized that. So let's make that fact. Our forefathers, talking about the Moors, built this country. That's another reason why the Europeans came here and to seek salvation, because this country was built by Moors who built a system of we the people. One of the reasons why America's soil has not been invaded is because the people are known to have guns in their home. So out of 10 homes, they know, say Russia wanted to invade America, he know he's gonna have a problem, because he know 8 out of those 10 homes on every block in every community is hammered up. Plus you got the armed forces. So this is one of the reasons, and this is a known fact, that other countries dealing with war tactics, if they ever try to step on soil, they know they have a problem. And this is why this never happened, because that Second Amendment, we have a right to bear arms. So that means if the government is doing the people wrong, the people still have a right to rise up, and they can't rise up with rocks. Even though I understand what you're saying, because you go to England and there's no gun problem over there too, but you have more stabbings. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Either way, we gonna get it in. In Japan, you have a lot of hangings. You have a lot of samurai with the swords and all that, because the Japanese mafia, they still killing niggas over there. You feel me? So it's not like all it does is evolve and change into something else. But like Kate Bourne said, I believe it starts with the mind. As a man thinketh, so shall he be. So if we have better caretakers of the minds of these youth before they even get out into society and be able to react or be reactory, you know what I'm saying? They'll be able to think and reason. A lot of your yard man back in the days, they used to be like, yo, I'm gonna reason with you. And I never really understood that, because they never explained the definition. They just would say reason. And I'm like, reason? We don't use the word like that. In regular English, we like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This is the reason I'm doing this, or what was your reason? You don't just come say, I'm a reason with you. When you look into the word and you get the definition of reason, these kids can't reason at all. They don't have no conductive reasoning. That's what they call it. But reading and comprehension produces conductive reasoning. So when we're talking about our community is targeted. They're being distracted from reading. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reading and comprehension. So when there's no reading and comprehension, there's no conductive reasoning. Just like you get in the gym and we get money and you build a muscle. This is a muscle here. So the kids are not really, we go to school, we send them to school, we send them to these European schools. The schools aren't really teaching them. That's why they get disinterested and they drop out. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not really, our kids are not learning what they're supposed. They're still learning Christopher Columbus discovered America. And it's sad to say, our babies are still learning that. The public school system will not change that. So off rip, like he said, the mind, they're being breeded with lies. It's the system, bro. But the home can eradicate that with getting into their minds. But the kids that we seeing is products of the broken homes. The mothers that's on the heroin, the mothers that's on the crack. You know what I'm saying? The single mothers that's out there trying to do it by themselves. Fathers in jail. Father got murdered. So now there is no guidance and structure. But that's all by design. Let's not play the matrix. Let's play, you know what I'm saying? Let's not play that. It's all by design, boy.
It's by design. It's by design, but then it's also by we have to take responsibility because, you know, I know what you're saying too. Back in the days, we allowed a village to raise our kids. So even though I couldn't do it at home, if you was outside, you had the right to check my kid, you had the right to check my kid, you had the right, everybody had the right to check their kids, each other kids. But nowadays, nobody don't want nobody to say nothing. Don't say nothing to my kid. Don't tell my kid nothing. But then now, when something happened to your kid, you run outside and go, oh, y'all sat there and let this happen to my kid? Which one of these do you want me to do?
Yeah, good point.
You want me to say something to your kid? You want me not to say nothing to your kid? Because the last time I tried to say something to your kid, you came right here and you was the problem. And before me and you get into an altercation, I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave your kid alone.
Yeah.
But now something happened to your kid, you asking me, why didn't I help your kid and prevent your kid? You putting us in a
catch-22.
Yeah, you putting us in a catch-22. Do you want us to help your kid?
Scared,
do you not want us to help your kid? And you know, and that's what we deal with out here on the street. And with me and with my community program, I feel like a lot of the kids be way more better when they be with us. Because they be with us and they be working and they be doing all this, they be a part of the program. And then when they go back home, there's no structure, there's no real what's going on. And then by the time I see this kid again, this kid is mixed and lost. Like, yo, what happened? And what happened was he went back home. But we can't sit here and hold on to somebody else's kid all the time. But you know, it comes to the point, man, we gotta step up, man. We gotta step up. There's more things happening. There's a lot of things happening. It's like the kids is running the streets. The kids is running the house. The kids is running everything, but the kids ain't got no brain. The kids ain't got no past experience. They don't have nothing.
I watched all that begin from they started on where the kid could call on the parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they started.
Once they started that, because I remember we used to get our ass beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We do something wrong. And your mother would tell you, ain't go tell your father.
You told
You understand what I'm saying? Go tell who you want to tell. I don't care who you tell. I'm going to beat that ass because you violated.
That's
You understand what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know? So it's like, once that came into play, where the government tried to raise our kids and discipline our kids when they're not even in our households or in our communities or in our, you know, ethnic situation, geographical situation, or understand what we or the child is going through, to be able to make a law from Washington telling us how to deal with our children's problems when they don't even know what our conditions are. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's wicked. And plus, you know, from the beginning of time, they always had the prison, they had the school to prison pipeline. So, you know, so we coming this from our house, you already know. Your kid gotta be focused. I told my kids when my kids was in first grade, kindergarten, they could really understand me. But once they got to first grade, I already let them know. This is trick knowledge they teach you in school. What I teach you in this house is real knowledge. You see this school right here? This school is building you up to go to jail. I'm building you up in this house to be successful. When you go to jail, you go to school, you go to jail. Jail is this old ugly color gray. School is that ugly color gray. In jail, you gotta walk on one side of the hallway. In school, you gotta walk on one side of the hallway. In jail, you can't talk in the hallway. In school, you can't talk in the hallway. In jail, you eat a whole bunch of trash for lunch. In school, you eat a whole bunch of trash for lunch. The only thing difference is one has a warden and one has a principal. That's the only difference. It's the same exact thing.
I think that too, like, brothers gotta hold the people who have made it out the community and who have hundreds of millions of dollars, because intervention can take place. It's not impossible. I just read an article from Larry Hoover where Larry Hoover just denounced, you know, his involvement with any gang, and he was like, yo, it's time to unite the babies, and it's gonna take a miracle, but a miracle can happen. You know what I'm saying? If a man like that, from where he's standing, is saying it can happen, it can happen. And I feel like where's the community centers? Like these people who are prominent that leave our community and take hundreds of millions of dollars and bring them to other communities, they need to be held accountable and brought back to this community where that money is being into prevention and intervention. But if we build community centers and have programs for intervention and prevention, even the households that don't have a dad like you can have a fair chance. Because I understand what you're saying, but there's so many households without a dad like you. You see me? So those brothers and sisters only have the street people to look towards too. And who the Caucasian or the Asian or the African teacher is telling them in the public school, that's who they look towards to. They don't really have nobody to look towards to. But if we had, like I said, like, let's take it, fiat money is what's gonna make things move. And I feel like these Europeans keep our people who have these hundreds of millions in the headlocks where they can't really be like, yo, I'm gonna go drop 100 million in the Bronx and build wild community centers for gun prevention. It's impossible to say that wouldn't work. That would have effect if we would do that, if we could do that.
Now, I agree with you 100% on the point that we need to do more. But as far as like doing more, it's not happening. Because it's our mental mentality, and it goes back to start at home. I was taught in my house, I teach my kids in the house to share. Share. All my kids come here and share with you. Some people was taught in the house that when you go over there, don't let nobody play with your toys. Your mother told you that before you left the house. When you go outside, don't let nobody ride your bike. When you go over here, don't let nobody go over there. This is your lunch. When you go to school, this is your lunch. Don't share this with nobody. They can eat the lunch that's right there. Their mother should have brought them lunch. This all go with you as you get older, and you're a petty dude. And you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that. That came from your house, man. And you didn't see it coming up. But that came from your house. When I make my kids a sandwich to go out, and it was in school, I make 2 of them. Here, I know one of your friends may ask you for something. Here, share with them. They may not have it. So when it comes back down to, this all started home. You look at brothers like Jay-Z. Jay-Z got $1 billion. He could get on the radio, he could get on the internet and say, oh, I gave $150 million to give all the water, start a water supply in Africa. And everybody like, yeah. What happened to little Ray and Tito and Bobby and all these dudes around your block that don't even need $1 million? All they need is $5,000, man. So I pay my back rent, I can get out of debt, and I'm a new man. Hey, all I need is this, that, and the third. Yo, you know what I'm saying? This messed up with me. Or this, that, and third. The brother just told me somebody helped the old school dude. Yo, my kneecap messed up. But if you can help me get a knee replacement, boy, you know I'm back to work. These are the people we need to be helping. You can go see Oprah, and Oprah will tell you 200 strangers. Look underneath your seat. Everybody got a brand new car. 200 strangers. But Chicago is falling apart. Kids is getting killed every single day. Why Oprah can't say, you know what? I'm gonna go to 20 different neighborhoods in Chicago and open up 20 centers. Not that I wanna open up. I'm gonna get the people that actually got juice in the community.
And know what to do with it.
I'm gonna find the unique. I'm gonna find the stew. I'm gonna find the Demi. I'm gonna find the black juice. I'm gonna find the K-Born. And I'm investing in them. This is not what they gonna do. Tyler Perry got millions and millions of dollars. He donate millions and millions of dollars. Where you donating this money to? Who you donating this money to? You know what I'm saying? Kanye West donating 100 million over here and 100 million. Where's it going at? Because everybody knew Ben broke is still broke. And I still go to their neighborhoods where they from, and the people that was broke in the 80s is still broke. So evidently, but they still got skills, and they still got style, and they still got help them. You know what I'm saying? Before you help a complete stranger. And that's why we really not going nowhere. Because I don't want to help Unique. I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm just speaking in general. I don't want to help Unique because I don't want to be the dude that come around the block with the flyers car. But if I help Unique, Unique may get a little elevated more than me. And he got more skills than me. So his joint may go where it need to go at. And he may need to come and get me back. But I'm not looking at that. I just want to be, so I got to keep him down in order to keep me up where I'm not even up. All I need to do is just get out the way and open the floodgate and let all y'all go, then I'll be up. but people don't see that.
You know what I'm saying?
You feel me?
Yeah.
Fact,
Nah,
yeah.
it's like from the beginning of what you were saying, I know kids that were so bad that it was two friends of mine, you know what I mean? When I was growing up, when I first came to America back in the 70s, and they each called their mother, my mother, while they're talking to each other. My mother said you need to come eat your lunch.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Well, tell my mother when I get there, I'll get there because right now I'm finishing my homework. You know what I mean? And then they go back and say, mommy says, and then she tell him go say something, and he go back and say, my mother. Meaning that's where the selfishness was created from in there, where everything is about them. They're claiming the mother as theirs only, not the brothers also.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I mean, that was the weirdest thing I ever seen in my life. I was only
your
8 years
mother,
old.
you heard that one?
You know what I
Your
mean?
mother said, same
Yeah.
thing. Your mother said to tell you to go in the house.
Yeah.
Ain't she a boat our mother?
Yeah, that's the point that I'm making. They claiming it, you know. But they was so bad with it. They loved the mother so much. They said, my mother said. You understand what I'm saying? My mother said. And he's talking to his brother.
Talking to his brother.
You understand what I'm
And that's
saying?
up to the mother to nip that in the butt. Like, oh, both of y'all
Exactly. Because then they grow up
I'm
and
y'all mother.
everything after that
Yeah.
in life becomes mine.
Yeah, I'm y'all
That's
mother.
mine. You know what I mean? My mother told me one time we went out there. My brother got in a fight, you know, with some Spanish kids around the corner. He come home, and we go back out there, and we go fight the kids. You know what I mean? A couple of days later, my brother finds like $10. He come home and said, "Mommy, look what I found. I found $10. You understand what I'm saying? I got $10. And he said, "Dad, what happened to your brother?" And he said, "No, what happened? Didn't you find that $10 around that same corner when you found that fight that you brought your brother into? Now that you found $10, that's your $10.
Come find
but
your
the
brother."
beef was you and your brothers. You better give your brother half that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the way my mom's
right.
always treated us.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Fact,
Yeah.
fact.
You go around the corner and you get in the beef, the same person you come around the corner to come get to help you fight, when you go around that corner or another corner and you come up in wealth, that's who you bring that wealth back to.
That's right.
So if I come say, Cape on, y'all got a beef with these dudes over in the Bronx, over in Brooklyn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
And
put
then
my
now-
life on the line.
Yeah, and then now you come over there and we go fist fight, shootout, stab, whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And go handle that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I go to Mount Vernon, up there by Demi God, you know what I mean? And I come off and I go make a little $5,000-$10,000 and now I got a spot making money and I'm telling you, yo, that's mine, bro.
Yo, God, you heard about what I'm doing?
Yeah,
That's mine, Flo.
yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
You good? Buy you something to eat.
And I'm sure everybody
You want
knows
something to
somebody
eat?
like
Damn
that.
well I ain't
Yeah.
going good.
You
Yeah.
want something to eat?
You know what I mean?
Let's go get something to eat, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you, go get us 2 blunts.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
make a change.
Yeah, all
You know
of
what I
it.
mean? And you
That's
just
a
made
fact.
10,000, but when you got that ass whooping that you caught me around there for, we could have got killed and went to jail. That was ours.
Yeah, look at all
But the
that.
spot you got now is yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's why and that's why I always been successful. You know what I mean? Because you know that's how I was raised in the Rasta community.
That's a
And with
fact.
the Jamaicans, when we came up, we was a tight knit like that,
right.
fresh from the islands.
right.
So you know that was implemented in me, even though I act American and
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
American, but I'm still Jamaican.
Right.
On certain things was teach with them from in the beginning. You understand what I said? That you broke bread with everybody.
That's right.
You understand?
A
8 of
big
us
pot.
slept on a little bed like this, the same size as what you sleeping on. You know what I mean? Everybody got a big ass gun and everybody's back is somewhere
That's
on
right.
that cushion. Ain't no one man saying only I could fit on this.
Right.
Because if somebody come in there to kill you,
Kill all of us.
they're gonna kill all of us.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So everything in here is ours. So everybody put a corner, a shoulder on that
Yeah.
joint, and
Yeah,
everybody's
real shit.
comfortable. Put a toilet paper on their
You right,
head,
too.
or a shirt, or a sweater.
Hold on, that,
You
you
understand
know
what
me
I'm
right
saying?
there. Yo, you got a displaced space, but you ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah, but they got somebody that's
Yeah.
all on me, and you know they don't want to break bread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just have to know how to move, man. Like I said, I was successful because I made sure that everybody ate. I didn't want to be the only one with money. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
I didn't
how I
want
am,
to be the
brother.
only one with something that. It's not only it's a lonely world. It's a limited world. If I help you get $1 million, you get $1 million, and you get $1 million, you understand what I'm saying? Then right there, if I need 100,000, I got 2 other people I can go
But
to
you know they got it.
go get it from. But if I keep y'all down and I'm the only one with it, and then I need 100,000, where am I gonna go?
We ain't got it.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you want the same thing for your brothers you want for yourself. You understand? And you have to really live by that. And I live by that, and that's why I get love when I come back over here to the Bronx, or I'm in Harlem or in Brooklyn or wherever, Virginia, DC, because I make sure everybody that I cross paths with, you understand? I make sure they get something so that they can take that and elevate to the next level.
Right.
But that's on them what they do with what I give them. But I'm not responsible to continuously give you.
Yeah.
You have to take this fish and figure out a way to make a living.
Don't open the door for you.
You understand what I'm
The
saying?
door's open, you gotta run. You know what I'm saying? The door's open, I'm gonna guide you. Lead you in the right direction. But then from there, you gotta get your will up and your motivation, and you gotta want to
Just gotta make sure everybody there, man.
Then you got friends, then you got people that, you know what I'm saying? But I experienced this in my career coming up with my own brothers, like my own, people that I thought was close to me. They would only help me to the point where they could shine too. Even though they didn't write the lyrics, they didn't produce the music, they ain't performing on stage, but if they can't get some light with it, then you know what I'm saying, they give your phone. They know you know somebody, you ask for the number, yo, I'm trying to get up with Kanye West, and they keep the number, nah. Just come home from jail. Yo, you know Kanye, my man. Me, I had y'all talking.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you give me the number? Nah, yo, I'ma call him and see if it's all right. Call you back. Don't never call back. So you gotta understand, like, it's deeper. It run even deeper.
I go back to the same thing. I'm gonna want you to be bigger than me.
That's a fact.
So why you gave me Kanye number, right? You lost it, right? I ain't got it no more, because then you may get it back and you just came home and you blow up, and I've been sitting here with his number and I ain't do nothing. So go back. I don't want you to be bigger than me. So hold on, I'm gonna call him, see how type of deal this could work, where I can get something out of it.
That's
and
a
then,
fact.
and yo, give me I found this number. We found it in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But yeah, and it's the games that we play with each other. And that's what's holding us all back, man. We have the opportunity. Why are people still running around trying to sign with Sony Music and RCA Music and all these record companies when we got the dudes that started from nothing, got billions of dollars now? We always was taught to invest in yourself. The first thing I did when I started getting on, I said, man, I want to get me a record label, because that's what I like to do. Oh man, I want to get me a magazine, because that's what I like to do. Why is these big dudes with all this money spending all their money on jewelry, cars, and houses, but you're not investing in what you like to do? Because I don't want to put you on and you be the next hot dude. And blow
Even if I make 100 million off of you.
If you made 101, I'm tight. and we got to get out of that, man. Where we got to get out of that as a whole, in general, people. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of this brother walk inside here, and instead of us, see, back in the days, it wasn't like that. You had a couple of haters, but you had a lot of congratulators. Because that's how, if it wasn't brothers that was congratulating each other, I wouldn't have met this brother. I'm coming out of Grill Park Towers one day. This brother got the Jeep, the seats off and all that. You know, you got the Wrangler with all the Gucci and Louis and all that in the joint. System blasting. If I was a hater or he was a hater, we wouldn't have met each other. I'm walking out the joint, coming by, he playing Rap's New Generation. I turned around, like, yo, homie, that's my joint. He can be like, so what, man? I'm Big Willie with the big car. He's like, word, it's your joint. That's it. Yo, word, old shit, my man, yo, wow, You know what I'm saying? Yo, look, I love the car, but I'm ready shouting them out. Yo, homie, that's a mean joint. Got the joint in the back of the wheel and all that. We not haters, man. If I was a hater, I would have kept on going by and walk by like, man, this nigga with this bullshit Jeep. You know, damn well was a joint. And I ain't had one at the time, but I'm playing on it. Man, this bullshit, this thing got here with all this loud fake ass music. That's going in. I'm damn, that shit hot. Come outside, bro, rocking my shit in the big truck with all the doors off and the top off. Man, don't ride, man.
That was the hottest
You got everywhere with that joint today, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know? But you know, the same thing like with Chill Ali. I saw him, a matter of fact, I got a video I did with him, Chill Ali. Same thing, you know, ran him in the Towers back in the day, you know what I mean? Because remember, the Towers was the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then, the Roberto Clemente Park,
Park,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? 1600, you know, Cedric, Tremont, this whole joint was popping, but everywhere was popping. I was riding through the Bronx last night, I was telling the people I was with, you know, that they can't even imagine what New York was like back in the 70s and 80s. We ain't even gonna get to the 90s yet. I'm talking about the 70s and 80s where you go on any block and you got pockets of all Spanish dudes playing their music, drinking their little Morello, their Corona or whatever, and a couple of buildings down, you got the Jamaicans playing Louis, you know what I mean? Then across the theater, you got the Americans playing Albanos.
Don't get the burning garbage can.
And the burning garbage can. And everybody could walk by and ain't nobody saying, wow, looking at him like he's black, he don't belong here, he's Jamaican, he's Spanish, he's that. It was just love, and the music played all night, man. And you could walk through where the music is playing and you're safe. You know what I mean? But now you walk through, it's like you feel the vibe. Your eyes is on you, like who's he? Where is he from? Why is he here? You know, everything else. You know what I mean? That's going on. You know, but that's old New York that I know. Hold up, you know, that's old New York that I know. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, nowadays it's like it's empty. You know what I mean? New York is turned into a shell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really
you walk down the block, you got 100 people, you couldn't even make it up the block.
you know,
You're like, God damn.
you know? Come on, man.
Bro, everywhere you go.
Pulled up on any block and
It's
just blast the
blessing.
music and it was a block party. You know what I mean? Go to the corner store, buy a case of Heineken.
It's over.
Everybody.
It's
You
over.
know what I mean?
Yeah, you just buy the case.
Yeah.
Throw it on, put it right there.
Yeah, right there for everybody.
Block party. Everybody coming outside.
You know what I mean?
The only problem you had is if you was walking down them blocks, like you said, you had Spanish people over here, you had Dominicans, Jamaicans, all that. Only problem you had if you wasn't familiar with the abandoned dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Every block had their own abandoned dogs.
Yeah.
And some of them, you was cool on every block.
Yeah.
But there's some of them, every block you went on, there was action.
Yeah.
And there's some of them, it was one dog that was just after you. It don't matter what block you went on, this dog see you, and it was like, you, I gotta run. And they like, yo, that be after you be out here, jump on a car, you don't mess with nobody else.
You know,
but he was after you. Anyway, it was on sight. And it was crazy, right?
Hey, yo, but you know what? I don't even see stray dogs no more.
Chinese restaurant.
Chinese restaurant.
Hey, yo,
that's that young bone soup you ate last week.
Yo, you know, hey, because they be having nothing but dogs everywhere back in the days and cats and everything.
Live in New York City,
everybody burning.
When they cleaned up New York City, I forgot which mayor it was, but they started rounding them dudes. They started rounding them shits up. They got protocol with stray dogs now. They come get them and take them up out of
And
here.
them in the Chinese restaurant.
What they do? Just kill them?
Nah. They give them for people that try to adopt.
No, but I mean, yo, man, it was thousands of dogs in New York when I was growing up. So I don't know how they found home for all them crazy motherfuckers.
And it was all sides. You had the big German joint, the German Shepherd, the Rottweiler, the Chihuahua. Everybody was out there. And yo, look, this was crazy. There was a crew, but you would see them on Burnside, and they'd get a fight with the crew from Crescent. Right on. And then they all break out. You'll see these 20 with them 20. Anywhere you go. You be on 161st Street, you like, yo, they go Whitey. Oh, shit,
Start running again, right?
Oh, man.
And that nigga be after you again.
Like the dogs had the first gangs out there, you know what I mean? And they turned their own neighborhoods. You know? Yeah, but you know, that's old New York, man. But like I said, I come home after all this time, man, and this whole, look how dead it look out there, man. I mean, when I was here, I know the pandemic hit, but I mean, every store was open. You couldn't even find nothing for rent back then. Because remember, when we needed an apartment back then, what we did? We went to the super.
You had to.
You go to the super and tell them you need an apartment. You know what I mean? Now they talking about realtor want this much and that much, and they only letting in this type and that type. And
how much you make a year?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's that got to do with how much I can pay a month?
Yeah. I'm telling you, we go to the super and tell them, man, I need an apartment. You got something for rent? Be like, man, $500 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give me a month security.
Oh, no, the super nigga like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. You give him $5?
Oh, that's a wrap.
Bro, what? Bro, God, shit. You come see me tomorrow, front poppy, because.
But I'm gonna give the game on that. The way they was doing that is the Jewish people that owned the buildings that left the super to run it, that was living in the building, that knew what was going on the ground level. The Jewish people didn't know what was going on from the upper level. So they'll tell them that the sink and this is broke, the bathroom and that is broke, and we need to get new floors over here and this and that. And you know, those 4 apartments is no good. But ain't nothing wrong with them. But them Jewish people, they never come down and look at it. Right. So instead of them fixing it, they just leave it. And now the super got that to rent that out, and all that money is his because the stupid Jew people didn't even come down here to come look into their own goddamn property because they say, I'm not going around them niggas. Whatever little bit I can bleed out, that's just a tax right off any goddamn way. So that's how the super was eating back then.
And also, don't forget, back then the super used to collect the rent.
No, that's what I'm talking
about.
Yeah,
we used to go to everybody's apartment, not with the dog.
Yeah, and then he'll give it to the dude.
That's your landlord.
But that's what I'm saying. But they will always tell him that, you know, this apartment and that apartment is broke.
No, but they wasn't there. They back on rent.
No. I'm not talking about somebody living in it. I'm saying they turned it into like their abandoned apartments. So that now they're theirs. Because they're collecting the rent anyway. And the super is never going to come down there to come knock on the door, turn the key, and come look to see, oh, well, what's wrong with the sink? You say, we got to get a plumber. They're not sending nobody to fix nothing. If the super say he can't fix it, and he needs some pipes that cost $500 and $1,800 and, you know, got to gut the wall. They tell them, screw that. Shit. They just lock it up and leave it. You know what I mean? That's how the owners of the building do. But the super gets it running and then rent it out. And that's how we had a lot of our herb gates back in the day. So that's why we went to the supers to go get our buildings, you know, our apartments. We didn't go to no agencies because the landlords and all, they wasn't coming around there. When they come, they might come through and they'll park out front. They'll park out front. They're definitely come for eviction. They're going to park out front. And the landlord gonna come out there and give him a bag and tell him, man, 4 buildings didn't pay, apartments didn't pay, but they paid.
He don't care.
But he tell them they didn't pay.
You get the money for 50 apartments.
And everything was a hustle, man. You know what I mean? Everything was a hustle, man.
Hey, yo, look, here go another thing. When you moved in the first day, if your apartment got robbed, it was the super.
It was the super. You know it was the fast. You know what I mean?
You just go straight downstairs like, yo, let me get all my stuff. I'm telling you right now. You're like, oh, sure, Bobby. You're like, yo, listen, brother. I'm telling you right now, man. Yo, if you don't go get my TV and all that. You're like, oh. You're like, wait, Bobby, I don't know. Bro will come back like, oh, I think the other guy left it in the hallway. I thought it was,
you know?
Every time, man.
Yeah. Them supers was a mother, man.
Yep.
But that's why in the Nino Brown joint, Nino dragged that nigga out there, but they They captured real live events from the city back then. Because the super was running everything. The same way they didn't like the super and everybody was glad when Nino took him out back and did that to him. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way it was, man. The super was the villain, man.
You see that good times? Buffalo butt? Good, man. You know what I mean? Staying on Brooklyn. Get out of here, bro. He wasn't fixing nothing.
So, it is what it is, man. But we just sitting having a little round table, man. And, just something to tap in. We're going to come back in. Tell me the name of your YouTube channel and all that.
Official Demi God. Everything's official Demi God. You know what I'm saying? Tap in my Instagram, tap in my YouTube, my Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Tap in my Snapchat, my TikTok. Official Demi God. Rise of the Malls.
Where you at? Tell them where you at.
Oh, Juice Black. I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Juice Black.
All right.
That's all that.
Lord.
K-Born Rivers on Instagram, Facebook, or you gotta look up K-Born Rivers, KBRN-RIVRS. The name of my program is I Am My Community, Inc. I Am My Community, INC. You can look me up anywhere I'm there. And we at This Is It Barbershop on Tremont. So come on down to the shop on Mount And we in the house, man.
And it is what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. We here. You know where we at.
All right. That's right. Yo, look out for my joint, Guns Down.
Guns Down.
Instagram and all that. Guns Down by K-Born and Alexa V.
Song.
Peace.
Cheers. The crime.
Fresh out the
can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top Beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And